Hello, Taurus. Welcome back to Intuitive Insights with Willow. Here is where I'm always wishing you peace and the understanding that life is always happening for you, not to you. So let's see what's going on with you. Here you have the Emperor. So you are coming out of the Emperor energy. What this means is you could have been very thorough, very disciplined in your routines and what you were doing, and now you've mastered that. But sometimes we could be so self-focused in what works for us that we forget to allow other people in to experience new things. Because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Forgive me. So what this says is now we got the discipline down. Now we're in control of our life, and that's a good thing. But we've done all of this, and things are starting to seem very mundane. No, things are just starting to seem routine. What can we change about ourselves that will allow elevation within ourselves? And that is what is bringing you to the King of Bats energy. Now, with the King of Bats energy, it shows that you are now moving more analytically, more logically. You're planning more ahead. This is Libra energy, all right? Cardinal leadership energy, creative energy. Now, this is in the sense of the crown because the bats are the swords, and swords represent the realm of our crown, all right? So in our mind, how we think, how we speak, communication is a big thing. How we love, how we nurture, that does play a part because this also carries Venusian energy. So you could be changing this about yourself. With you being in this energy, especially swords being the solid element that we're using, air, it's all about growth and learning. So you could be trying something new right now. You could be embracing new opportunities. You could be going into new crowds, trying new things. Example of that, you could have been the type of person, I want to be traditional, meet somebody at a coffee shop, at a bookstore. And now you're like, a dating app might not be bad. You see what I'm saying? Because you can scan, the information that is posted there and then go off of that. I would say for me, being a Taurus sun in the tropical zodiac, me personally, I've just started reading this book, and this book is Thinking in Bets. So when I pulled these cards, I thought about that because Thinking in Bets is all about viewing situations, making judgment calls without knowing all the details. And that's a way in the mind. Sometimes, like Libra can get caught up because you can understand the left side and the right side. It makes you indecisive to make a decision. Well, this book will teach you, and I'm not vouching for this book because, like I said, I just started reading it yesterday. I ain't that far into the book to say if it's a good book, a bad book. I will say it's very engaging because my alarm went off and I was still reading it. So it is very engaging. It's a page turner. It's not boring. But the idea of this book is to teach you how to make decisions without knowing everything ahead. We tend to want to be in control of everything, but control is actually a false characteristic because we're never seriously in control of anything, not even ourselves. We have to learn, self-reflect. Am I responding or am I reacting? Those kind of things. So being in control, the way you can get ahead is meditation. But for you on the reading, that can mean too just changing one thing about yourself and how you're processing, how you process things and how you deliver things, and being the boss of it. So you're no longer going with the flow. You are now, these are both boss energies. This is leadership. This is, I make the rules, I set the commands kind of energy. Now you are setting your standards and you're making the plays and you're allowing other people to play within your hand, not vice versa. Okay, so being in that energy is not a bad thing. That's actually quite beautiful for an earth sign to now embody the element of air, which is naturally the mortal energy of the earth sign. But what I will tell you is when you have something that you just very standoffish to, makes you uncomfortable, it's unfamiliar territory, you don't want to mess with it, it has that big of an impact on you because it's that thing you should be addressing. Unless it's in love. That's a whole nother segment. But we are going into the magician energy. So we go from air Libra energy into Mercurial energy, which is Gemini and Virgo. We was just talking about earth and air, and I thought this was so cute that we got the magician. So in this area, because the magician is all about manifestation, he's all about taking ownership of our life and deciding what path we're going to move forward with and what tool we are going to take with us. And this, I think it's safe to say that we are going through with swords. We are being more in tune with our emotions. We're trusting our intuition. We're being more calmer. We are now responding and not reacting. But we're also stepping out of our comfort zone and utilizing a new path. So I would say you're probably an individual that is now writing more. You may be writing more. You may be communicating more with other people. You may be getting involved in schooling, taking on another subject, something that you may have been like, you know what, I'm not going to touch that. But for some reason now, you started taking one thing and then you realize, oh, I actually need another elective. I'll entertain this. It seems kind of easy. And little do you know, you're going to really enjoy this. It's really going to change something about you. So you're leveling up, and that's a good thing. Here you have the Queen of Imps. What this tells me now, going into that fire energy, baby, that's beautiful, because we started out coming from fire energy, the Emperor, that is Aries, and we're going into the Queen of Imps. She attracts. This woman don't break her back for nobody. You break your back for her. So when you see the Queen of Fire come in a reading, one, very attractive. Look at that. You work on yourself and what happens? They just start coming out of corners and everything. Everybody wants your attention. People are paying attention to you. People are watching you. People are observing you. You are illuminating very vibrant. So very vibrant energy is what you're giving off. And that's a beautiful thing. You're not being flashy or showy about it. It's just that because you are now in the energy of pursuing your goals, fulfilling your needs, and changing things about you so you can evolve into the place that you want to be in your life, other people are peeping that. Your movements are making heavy sounds, and people like that. So you're unintentionally motivating other people, and that's a beautiful thing. So pat yourself on the back. All right, that is what I got. What the head on the back? Look at that. Transformation. And the Empress. Yeah. It's looking good. Looking good. All right. With that being said, Taurus, I hope that this video resonated with you. If it did, give your girl a like. Also, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel. I love to have you here. Understand, Taurus, we cannot always control the things that happen in our world, but we can 100% control the way that we respond to them. So do well to set boundaries for yourself. Boundaries are for you. They're not for other people, and enforce them fiercely. Because by doing so, you are setting a blueprint for how people are to treat you in order to have you and keep you. Another thing, move with integrity. As long as you move with integrity, I promise you, no matter if the chips fall or fly, you're going to be all right. All right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.